So do you want to ask us any of the questions you just didn't ask Logan?
So watch to the end of the podcast and you'll see the questions that Brian wanted to ask Logan.
No, you won't. I've not got them. I've left them.
Oh!
Yeah, but you remember
I think
them.
I took a picture. Oh, no, I didn't.
I hope no one finds them.
You left them on stage. Me and Con found them.
I hope no one finds them because there was a few jokes about Shannon, the Cannon Briggs in there I didn't get to say when I realised he was fucking enormous.
Big bugger.
I was looking at him, I was like, nah, I'm not asking that to do.
You know what I loved was there's a great moment that we got on the XO story.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ. And he just goes turns straight around.
Just like activated.
Straight away. And then
you call a dog by its wrong name.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's like Mary.
The thing is, when you talk to him, like you sort of realise he's just mad.
Yeah.
He's just absolutely mental. If Deji was like 5 times the size he is, he would just be Shannon Briggs, basically.
He was also really enjoying the press conference.
He loved it.
And then, so originally he comes up on stage and he's like, this is great.
Why was it?
It stresses him out more and more through time. We're watching him.
Why was he there?
So the one thing that I twigged really, really quickly was the Paul brothers. They brought like a squad of like 7-foot black dudes with them. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know if this was
the dad for you.
The Secret Service or what was going on, but then the dad was like their cheerleader by the side, sort of.
The dad got hit the hardest.
He was crazy.
He took the biggest.
He
biggest
was.
hit of the lot.
He also gave the biggest hit, apparently.
Yeah, so there's allegedly he's
sponsored this podcast.
Yeah, allegedly he's kicked a kid.
Yeah,
it doesn't make it less true if you say it like.
Well, you just go allegedly he's
booted a kid in the face.
Yeah,
so
not in the face, not the face. The face.
To be fair,
ribs.
Yeah,
there was a kid outside who was so happy he just turned to me and went, "I've got my clickbait," and then walked away.
That is the new generation of people.
Paul.
That's because of you. Are you happy with yourself? This is what you're
Very
making
proud of the young
out
generation.
there. They're out there
hustle.
just hoping to get an old person to hit a kid.
Brian,
no matter what happens to the kid, hospitalised or not, they've got their click.
I have a lot of time for that mentality.
Do you know? So, do you feel like this is a better press conference than the one in LA?
More, it was better.
Look, I felt like Pacino in The Godfather. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. And that was, I was just getting dragged down to their level as I went.
No.
Anyway.
It's a good comedy. You'll love it.
I must admit, when I got on stage, it was much more intense than the last press conference we did. Like, the crowd were just, like, crazy. They were throwing shit on there constantly.
14-year-old shouting, "Suck your mum."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only in London.
Am I wrong in thinking that Jake Paul came out looking
He did alright, didn't he? Handled that quite well.
You know what? It was,
so we did a couple of others undercards. No disrespect, but everyone wants to hear about Deji and Jake Paul. So we'll start off with them.
The Deji brothers.
Deji came. I found Jake easier to work with than Deji. To be honest, Jake. Before I went on, I walked past Jake and Logan, and I looked them in the eye, and I just said, "Let's have a good show." Like, as far as I'm concerned, we're here to have an entertaining. And less cringeworthy effort than the last one out.
I got you something, Deji, for those man boobies. Yeah, I got you something. Pick it up and give it to me. Put that up. Pick it up and give it to me. Yeah, pick it up and give it to me. Why you wearing heels? Why you wearing heels?
If I say something to them before we got on stage, they know I'm not trying to be a prick. I'm just trying to get the questions out, get some good clips for everyone to use for the hype and the fight up, do my fucking job. And Jake seemed to understand what I'm trying to do. When he was up there, he was calm, confident. He didn't look phased at all.
What I found was quite interesting was for someone who often gets slagged off by a lot of people, he seemed very personal with you, and like he wasn't afraid to sort of come over to your ear and
I tried to make him feel like, all right, we're all trying to put on a little bit like the WE in the sense of, all right, we're all trying to put on a show here. Let's just fucking get the answers going and get people talking.
Do you think what people won't see is the big entourage around the side? Because those curtains cover up quite a lot.
Mate, they were mobbed up, man. Like, they came... And I that one thing that came across with me with that is, like, you guys are pretty scared. Like, to come over here with this many people, like, you don't obviously feel... And to be honest with you, I don't know, like, what are a load of 14-year-olds going to do to you? Like, they're
there
not
was a lot of them, though. They were climbing.
I mean, maybe they could have stabbed. It is London.
Would you rather have one full-sized 14-year-old or 100?
Greg Paul.
So Jake came across as really calm and chilled out, and Deji was hyped up. But I thought they had pretty good back and forth. It wasn't like. It was annoying to be a part of at times because I just wanted to ask a question and try and get some coherent chat going.
The two big fights, the conference for both of them couldn't have been any different.
0% chance that Deji wins this fight. Why are you wearing high heels? There's 0% chance that Deji wins this fight. His old trainer knows it. His brother knows it. The sidemen know it. That's why they kicked him out of the house. They kicked him out of the house because he's training like shit.
See, I felt like, Deji did kind of well to have a go. Jake held his own. All you can hear on stage is just people screaming. You can't hear the microphone. Like, I could barely hear what the lads were saying.
I think Deji wins it from the from the get-go because of the crowd on his... Jake was always, like, bouncing back, so that's why he looks good, is because he lost from the start, so anything he did good is a positive.
I don't think Deji said anything, though.
Oh, no,
all he said was boring.
That's not, so that annoys me when I'm trying to ask a question and he's shouting boring, because I'm like, I'm trying to fucking get where. Do you think from circus to halfway to fight conference?
How much is a press conference about? Not what you say, but more about your reaction, your demeanour, those things. That's more important almost than the content.
The reason I'm edging it for Jake here is when Logan came out, and we'll get on this in a minute, but he just looked intimidated from the get-go, whereas Jake came out and he's like, fucking let's have it. I thought to myself, I like this, like he gets it, this kid.
Yeah! Hey, boo if Deji's a bitch! Yeah, boo if Deji's a bitch! That's crazy. I thought you guys were on Deji's team.
He handled it well. Do you know what I mean?
Just pantomime villain, really, wasn't
he?
He
played
like
it
JJ
well,
played with Joe, well, like to the extreme.
Exactly.
But it's hard when even Joe, like last time the press conference was all for JJ. Like even though the fight was for Joe, the crowd. Joe didn't deal with it that well, even though probably it was like 60-40. Whereas it was like 100% for Deji, and Jake still had the confidence to go out in front of the stage and just say, I don't give a fuck. And as much as like I don't rate the guy's videos, you have to look at him and go, fair play, you're dealing with this really well.
If he's not getting phased there, then he's probably not going to get phased in the ring.
I phased you.
True though.
Whereas Logan though looks massively phased, so then you think, for the fight where it's going to be like that times 10. Does that affect him then?
So what was it like from you lads' point of view, for the Jake and Deji bit? Well, the answers that were given, because I asked him one point, I was like, did you pick Deji because he's the easier fight than JJ? And his response was something like, I'll fight JJ right afterwards.
I actually thought that was a really good response.
I thought that was a good response.
But it was probably one of the only responses in there, because the rest of it was 90%.
When people are screaming at you, fuck Jake Paul, and you
I do prefer Suck Your Mum to Walmart though. I feel like we did do that better.
Deji.
Proud of this country.
The UK showing off what they do well, which is press conferences and lining up.
So one of the things that was pissing me off when I was up there was the amount of shit that was getting thrown on stage. So at one point,
those shoes are expensive.
You got the Paul brothers trainer comes up, who I recognise. I'm sure I think he might have trained at Mayweather at some point. He's an older guy. He's like, look, you got to tell him to stop. I'm like, mate, I'm doing my fucking best here. Do you know what I mean? Like, what can I do? Like, magic fucking spell. Then the dad come up.
Right.
The dad gets right up close to me. He's like, you gotta fucking tell them, like, we're gonna leave. And
I'm gonna neck on with them soon.
I was just like,
tell these children they're in danger.
Neck the boys.
I was trying to be cordial with the guy, because I'm supposed to be mediator here, and I do want to do a good job, even though I don't like these guys' videos or whatever. But then at one point, the dad gets right in my face, and I think he was just, I don't think he realised how he was acting. He's got no self-awareness, and I looked at him and I was like,
Donny.
For a second there, I was like, I'm going to get annoyed with you in a minute. Like, I gave him a look, and
that would be a phenomenal clip. You just dashed him across the stage.
He backed off at that point, luckily. But so
Stephen flexing in the
so Logan and KSI come out.
Why didn't JJ come out when you announced him?
So I got before we go on, the producer was like, here's the sheet, you gotta stick to the sheet. I'm like,
I liked your intros, they were nice. They were
I
nice.
did try to like give it a little bit, because like
there's always only so much you can do with this accent, isn't there?
Yeah,
it's a nightmare, mate. So Shannon Briggs is like,
living nightmare.
Let's go, champ. Like I'm not that guy. But they were like, this is the sheet, stick to the sheet, you gotta go out in this order. I'm like, all right, it's KSI first on the sheet, and then KSI's manager looks at me and goes, it's Logan. I'm like, you fucking told us to stick to the sheet, mate. I'm sticking to the fucking.
Do you think that's it, that they wanted to unnerve him a little bit, and then he had to come out first?
I don't think it was. There was nothing
there
was nothing coordinated.
It's a real shame, because I like to think the best.
Mind games have been played.
So Stuart's blood pressure must go through the roof. You always just see him pinging around trying to solve about 40 issues.
Shout out to Liam and Stuart, because they did hold it together as best they could here. But so I call Logan Paul. I try to give him a
Come on, Logie.
I try to give him like,
Logie
even though everything I've said in the past, I try to just do my job, say his name in a loud way and get people G'd up, whatever. And to be fair, there was a 12-year-old girl in the front of the row or whatever. She's like, fucking giving it the Maverick sign. She's like, fuck the Tunji brothers or whatever. She didn't give a shit. I'm like, you know what it is?
Just a racist.
Maybe. She was just like, die hard. I was like, you know, it's fair play. You don't give a fuck.
Credit to you. You've done well there.
He had his wig on. No one would have known. So Logan comes out and he doesn't do what Jake did and give it the big licks. He just sits right down and like he had the look of, let's just get me the fuck out of here as quick as I can.
The challenger, Logan Paul.
But it wasn't a game plan because there's parts where he's like trying to be like, oh, your baby carrot, and he just gets shut down.
That's
it wasn't
why
like
there was carrots. I've just realised.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But he came and it's like you think, all right, Logan's got a game plan. He's going to be quiet, just going to let it play out. Whereas
so what
he did try it and just got.
How did he? What did he say?
the
Something
fuck
about
up
he was
every
like,
time.
your baby carrot. Jay just like, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
This is coming from
Shut
Baby
the fuck
Carrot.
up.
At that point, I'm watching. I'm like,
Ropes.
what am I doing with the microphone here? There is nothing I can fucking step in. The crowd are so loud. I'm just a fucking watching
Which
this.
is that's kind of good though, because I think it shows JJ's power in that situation.
It's
Is that
mad.
he just went out and did that, and Logan did nothing.
Like, he can captivate like a whole room so easily. I'm just looking up. Everyone's up his arse, but it's like, to be fair, he's good at what he does.
So I thought
I can do my stand-up
it wasn't
routine now.
in the last press conference in LA. It wasn't the usual JJ. Like he, according to some people who were there, said JJ was a little bit like, fuck me, I'm out of my comfort zone a little bit here. But even still, JJ was just relaxed. I don't think he was that phased, and he still even came out on top of that at the end because once again it was Logan who lost his cool.
Just look calm.
This time it was on fire, JJ. Like he had all the lines. He was so funny. And then going at the parents and everything. Like he was, when he went on about his dad's sperm. Like even at that point, I'm like, no, that is fucking funny. That.
How you gonna make not one but two dumbass children? What the fuck is wrong with your sperm?
How can I not laugh?
And
Like
then the dad did the worst thing by trying to bite in and go after us.
Yeah.
He
was doing this weird sort of, you could tell he was breathing through his nose really intensely. And it was sort of like, are you on something there?
There was, you know what was interesting was afterwards we have a piece of footage of Logan and his dad's like, so he leans into the sort of goldy custard colour car, and he's like to the driver, stay here. And then comes up and Logan's just like getting in the car and he's like, Dad, like, shit.
Don't leave yet. Do not leave yet. Just give Jake. Give Jake. I got it, bro. You got to do this under control. Get out of here. Get out of here. Hey, Pete. Get away.
And then he looks at the camera and he's like, is that KSI's vlog? And Craig behind the camera's like, yeah, sure. And he's like, fuck you, fuck. And he's like, we got the
and
message.
That's our footage.
Wait. You gotta read together. Is it KSI's vlog? No. You gotta read together. Boy is fucked, man. He doesn't know.
We own that.
And the guy next to Craig afterwards went, can I buy that? And Craig just went, see ya. And walked away.
Can we just
anyway, it's right there. It's
can we rewind a bit? Because when Logan comes on stage, how did he look to you guys? Because I seen from the side, and me and him, we just sort of like didn't really look at each other much because he knows what I've said about him clearly. After that,
he looked like an actor. Like he was trying to be calm. You could tell it wasn't real. He was sort of like clenching his jaw, and
he looked bright red very quickly.
Yeah.
But it was fucking hot up there. I was pissing.
To be
sweat.
fair, yeah. Yeah, he didn't look natural. He didn't look comfortable at all. It looked like he was trying to put across this little
demeanour.
Yeah, that he's ready.
Do you think though he's aware that after last time how stupid he looked? Because I must have read 10 articles from mainstream media last time. It was like, this is the worst thing for your kids, blah blah blah, this guy's terrible.
Do they not have any self-awareness though?
I feel like they do.
Part of them?
I feel like sometimes there's an element of self-awareness when it's self-preservation.
Right.
That's when their self-awareness
Who's
kicks
that, the
in.
brothers?
Yeah. Whereas KSI, so this morning goes on like
GMB.
and he can sort of.
So when
don't seem
JJ
to
got
know.
asked how much do you earn, he just laughed. Like he sort of evaded the question and just kept on.
And rightly
going.
so. Like it's just rude.
Well,
His
obviously,
vision's an absolute.
If I earned that much, I'd laugh.
You
as
would have
well.
put so much money on that question being asked though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean KSI could put so much money on all that. He's in so much.
But the point. So the thing is with the brothers. This is the thing. When I was talking to Jake, I thought you get what I'm doing here. Like you understand. Like I didn't feel that from Logan as much. If anything, Logan did give me a look, and I'll fucking never forget this. Like so. JJ is just off. He's just going in, hammering the fuck out of him. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, just getting the crowd to chant whatever the fuck and just dancing to his tune. And Logan just looks at me at one point and like,
what did his eyes seem to say?
Help me, white DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
Take me to the Japanese front.
You're in my zone.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, he just looked at me to say, "Are you gonna get this going like quickly?" Because I'm.
Brian's like, "This is going, just so you're aware. This is."
We started about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It was a bit like that, and I almost felt guilty. I kind because I felt like I wasn't doing my job, but equally, so I had a word with his manager afterwards. I was like, "Look, what the fuck could I have done there? Like literally, if I stop JJ and go, whoa, like let's get the questions on the go." That crowd is not listening to a fucking thing anyone else is saying.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to look like the mug who tries to stop this and fails miserably, because that's exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I just had to let it go. But
if you look at the McGregor-Mayweather one, the second one, McGregor comes at him with all the stuff he's had prepared. Mayweather doesn't just shy off. He comes back again. So if he had something about him,
so what I
does,
tried, I said to JJ, I was like nodding, and was like, all right, let's wrap it up. And JJ, to be fair, nodded, was like, all right, I'm finished now. I'm going to sit down. And at that point, that was when Logan was like, I'm not listening. He was like, I was prepared to answer questions, but fuck it, I'm going or whatever.
Hey, how's that lit? Hey, I would love to sit here and answer your questions. All right, I feel like KSI addressed everything.
All right, JJ.
London, I'm out. I'll see you August 25th.
If you stood there and took it and then answered the questions and even come back later on, you're going to look like, all right, he took it and he stayed at least. But now, like, he can't, for example, do a vlog where he spins this like he did the last time and was like, yeah, we own them. You cannot spin this to make you the winner. You got fucking owned and then you ran away.
I reckon they'll try to, though.
How do you?
Exactly, he'll find a way.
Well, it almost doesn't matter. That's the point. Is I think
there's nothing you can say.
So last time he spun
what would he say?
We didn't.
The classy, he didn't want to stoop to his level.
Yeah,
would he maybe go with that angle?
But the point is that he can say whatever he wants because his fans are going to go, yeah, you're right. It's not bad. He doesn't care if we believe or understand.
Yeah, I guess from a neutral or Paul brother fan level, you can be like, yeah, look at KSI, like he's acting, and there's Logan conducting himself with dignity or whatever.
But you can the opposite in LA.
I suppose you can convince yourself of that or whatever.
But the difference is, right? The difference is in LA, he went out there with no plan and just acted with no class, whereas KSI.
So in his own video,
whereas JJ went out there and was like,
so in his own video, by his own admission, and this is the Paul brothers both said this, you're in a press conference, you're supposed to talk shit. Like, don't fucking turn up if you're not ready. And he turned up to a gunfight with a fucking spoon. So make no mistake.
We've all write that one down. That's one of his better ones.
Yeah.
Oh, that line was a good one. You've been practicing your lines like
genuinely, I'm just that was. I kind of wish I didn't do it, but
why?
You didn't do anything wrong.
I haven't watched it back yet, but I just generally felt like
the videos haven't gone on their channels yet. It's your face out there, man.
It was maybe it was a nightmare to try and keep it together, and just that look he gave me at the end there was just like, help me, like, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing shit, mate.
Do you this really realistically?
But what are you expecting?
Do you know what was different last time as well? The press conference was so close to the fight. This is a press conference which is quite far away from the fight. It's not like it's that for me is a month now where he can just go, okay, I can get over this. You can get over anything horrific in a month, really. Especially that wasn't really that horrific.
If this came 2 days before the actual fight,
different.
I think that would be a very bad, but equally. So now,
because the Joe one went the same way, and we've all said like, at that time
I think
we
this
all
was worse. I think this.
That's what I'm saying.
This was worse.
Definitely, but. We all
same
felt
mold.
that like, okay, that was the first step for JJ, that press conference last time, whereas this time as Laurence says, I think
over the next month though, like those words of JJ and that crowd chant is going to be echoing inside the mind of Logan Paul every time he puts his head on his fucking pillow, and it's either going to do one or two things. He's either going to train like a motherfucker and come so prepared, like make no mistake, he's going to train harder now. There's no way he cannot get up earlier, run harder, and hit the bag more.
Like his dad.
Like, there's no way. There's just, but it could almost destroy him this mentally. Like, I don't know. He must be made. The thing about Logan, one thing you can't take away from the guys, he's dealt with hate. Like, so he should be, but he's of all the time he was going through everyone on Twitter slating him, everyone on YouTube. He's never had someone right in his face going, and fucking you. He's never had that.
Yeah.
So this is like almost new. And I was ready with loads of questions. Like, I was ready to make him feel uncomfortable. But fuck me. Like,
I think you did.
I
really,
would say
bro.
the thing is though, I would say that would have been worse because actually
if I
he's
jumped on it now, it would have made me look alright.
He's been through morally been shamed, and that's probably like the worst shame you can go through. Really, he
depends how big your cock is, really.
You know what I mean, though. Like you can go through like shame of someone being, oh, they beat me in this, but going through someone saying like you went into a forest and you found a dead body, that's probably a particular low that he went through.
See, both times he's had the fight or flight, and this time he chose flight, and it's still the same sort of mentality of I can't handle this anymore, and he just acts on impulse.
Do you think we might say a similar thing in the ring where sometimes with a fighter they're broken before they even walk into the ring, and they sort of quit very quickly, like the towel goes in or whatever? If he's got a tendency of doing that, the thing is, he was an amateur wrestler though, and amateur wrestlers are known for the grind. They're known for some of the hardest motherfuckers in the world. Like, and he was a high level amateur wrestler. He wasn't he was like at elite level apparently. Like, he was state champion.
Do you think he was probably like top jock in his school, and everything was going well?
Was it 4.7 grade average or whatever they fucking say in America? Like, he was apparently like honor roll student, like wrestler and all that. Now you've got JJ, FIFA player, just like fucking suck yeah. Like, but JJ's built like differently.
I think mentally he's got so much to deal with. And
do you know what this is? This is literally the first time Logan Paul's ever come up against anyone who he can't like outdo on a YouTube level. But like JJ almost was like more arrogant, more cocky, more everything that Logan can do. JJ just took it up a level, and Logan just was like, nah, fuck this, I'm gone.
Do you think he? I think it's gonna be different in the fight. Is what I'm saying. I think he's probably got a different demeanor.
There's a advantage with Logan. He's bigger.
Yeah.
I still think JJ will win. There's something about him, like I
just mean Logan's demeanor will be different in the fight. He's going to have to be aggressive, isn't he? But one thing that I do think is interesting is in America he acts a certain way. I don't think he was expecting the London crowd to be like that, and London is a tough place. I think most people think of London as like a load of umbrellas and like people in top hats.
A young which part of London is it? But that was press. You can usually measure it by press.
Yeah,
that was like a young like grime crowd, like that people were animated as.
I was getting a lot of.
Stephen was loving it.
Yeah.
He had his crew.
You were with your people.
Basically, crew in the place.
So it was. So I seen the video of the LA crowd, and it was definitely nothing like it.
Who's ready to watch me beat this man's ass August 25th?
So what was your favourite moment? Yeah.
Oh, Greg Paul getting bullied. It was great.
Yeah, see, the dad scares me.
Does it feel a bit bullying to you?
What?
Like, does it feel a bit easy to?
No, the dad was trying to assert himself.
He brings it on.
Poses. He stood there tensing, like trying to intimidate.
Where's Mr. Olatunji right now? Sat at home with his fucking slippers on, conducting himself with dignity,
enjoying his son's millions.
If you want to have the piss taken out of you by the guy who your kid's taking on, turn up, because that's what's going to happen.
The interesting side is though, Mrs. Olatunji is sitting at home. She got the pads ready for when he gets back in through the door. Tea's on the side. Jaffa cakes are right there.
She's not the best trainer.
She's not the best, but she's a trainer. And
I was going to say to Deji as Mrs. Olatunji holding pads for you.
She's got her own pads to worry about.
That's too far. Highlight.
That's what I'm saying. Greg Paul.
Yeah.
Getting bullied. It's lovely seeing someone rate themselves so much and just getting cut down a peg.
He
was totally out of his depth.
It was a little bit pride before a fall, this whole press conference, wasn't it?
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
lovely.
I don't know, it was all a bit of a blur.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Stephen and I were laughing quite a lot.
It was weird because when I made that video about Logan Paul, this is my biggest video I've ever made, was about this guy, and I was
I know how that feels.
I was upset making the video. I was cut up that like all these kids who messaged me and that like I have a lot of lads message me about like feeling mentally ill and struggling and that, and there was this massive YouTuber basically using that situation for himself, in my opinion, and to then look down on him and see him look up at me, looking up for help and get me out of the situation, looking so weak. It was almost like, fuck me, like almost like 5 months later after I've made that video and I'm in tears and I'm like,
does it remind you a little bit though that guy is also human himself?
No,
we do treat him
no,
like
if anything
shit.
I kind of I built him up to be this like
big
just
evil
100% bad person.
Yeah.
And when you look at him as he's just
Only
getting
about 94.
If he's getting verbally wrecked by JJ, it almost just made me feel sorry for him, to be honest.
Yeah.
I actually felt sorry for him, and I don't mean that in a
not
cocky
that
way.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. Like I just felt like. But then afterwards, you sort of put it all together in the whole picture of like, all right, he is a bit of a dick, actually. He probably deserves that. But just in the moment, it was such a fucking weird moment.
I mean, when he goes off in his Rolls Royce,
then you stop feeling
his Rolls Royce was pretty weird.
I hated it. I mean, who does that, like mustard gold or whatever?
It just doesn't work. In
Chrome.
London, does it?
Coleman's Chrome, it's
Street
called.
Side, I'm sure it will do.
Coleman's Chrome.
I'm sure it will, because the sun reflects off it, but in London, all you see is the
It's
clouds.
just- yeah.
It's like, oh, these depressing
So
gold
weird.
clouds.
Did you anticipate it going a lot better in your head? Or
You got a
smoother?
good cheer when you came on.
Yeah,
I was
true.
leading that. I was going, Brian.
All right, if you don't know by now, you should know. I go by the name of True Geordie, and you're about to watch the press conference for KSI, Logan Paul. It's happening today.
I went in with a plan of I want to do a job and make people answer questions, and I felt like I didn't anticipate how loud the crowd would be at all. Like
That was surprising.
So the best bit, I kind of like introducing KSI because I don't have delusions of wanting to be a fighter. Like I've always wanted to be an announcer, so like I just enjoyed that.
The reigning, defending YouTube champ of the world, KSI.
Reigning, defending.
That was quite good.
That.
Yeah, it sounded good
So
as well.
fun.
The speakers were quite good
It's
this
just
time.
so fun.
We should do podcast entrances like that.
Yeah.
And the kid who sits on the left, Stephen Tries.
You got a favourite moment?
Probably when one of TGF J's team turned to me and were like, "This is real," and I was like, "Oh yeah."
Now, to be honest with you,
Birmingham,
to be
20
honest
years
with you,
behind.
the face-off between Jay and Gibbo was the best. Like they were the ones who looked each other dead in the eye and like give it some shit.
Yeah, because that was nothing beforehand, but now I feel it's a little bit real. They're really both competitive blokes.
And Jay's talking so much shit. Like I'm gonna not. He was like, "I've put 4 businesses on hold for this. You're going out in the first round."
Yeah.
I was like, "That's real." Like,
What about in the face-off? Because we couldn't see the face-off from where we were, could we, between Deji and Jake?
No.
What was going on in that? Because that was like a big scrum,
So
basically.
Deji looks at Jake, and Jake just like he looks to the crowd, and he's like just giving it the cocky, and he just ignored him. And Deji's like, "You won't even look me in the eye." And then Jake just turns to him and goes, "Fucking think I would look you in the eye for?" Like, and then they sort of look at each other, and I noticed just so many big black dudes just start getting closer. Like I've got to be honest, I'm like. In my head, I'm thinking, one fucking wrong move from these two, and it's all fucking gone. Everyone on here is getting a fucking punchline
from Brian.
So I just basically moved. I was like, all right.
Stuart runs on.
Nah, I just was like, is enough here. Like, but I just wanted to not have it all go tits before at least we get the main event on.
Yeah, which would have been frustrating. I was glad it wasn't live streamed.
Deji was moving towards Jake.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to get at least something on him
Like he did to
before.
Cal.
Yeah, I was just like, come on, man.
Jake's probably done himself real favors. That I think publicly he's almost the favorite in a sort of a Deji doesn't look organized for this. It doesn't look great for Deji in that sense.
Deji seems supremely confident
from the outside.
He looks
Deji
bigger.
seems confident.
Yeah. But I guess
Let's not criticise Deji, for fuck's sake.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he did.
Yeah, you took enough from it last time, didn't you? Got a good title out of it though. I saw that. Deji tweets Keemstar and True Geordie.
That actually was legit.
Brian.
We were just sitting making
You've
the
learned
video.
a lot. You've learned a lot there, Brian.
I saw that and I was like, yep, a lot of time for
That's
that.
classic
Brian.
thumbnailing.
Right.
Yeah.
Me and that kid who got the footage today of the Paul brother's dad.
Elite mentality.
We'll learn from WillNE.
Good mentality.
Yeah.
Learn from the best.
Predictions on who's going to win each one.
everything.
So JMX and
I've got to go Jay.
Boy,
mate.
Hamburger Man, Hamburger.
Joel's got his summer off now. Hamid's taken that. Like Joel was training hard for Ramel. Hamid's belly is like here,
right,
and he's this much. No, I like
the thing about Hamid though. Didn't Hamid
used
to be a boxer? Didn't he used to be a boxer?
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he?
Well, no, but I mean, no disrespect, but like I've seen JMX throw punches, and he's obviously he's an athletic kid, but he's not a boxer. Do you know what I'm saying?
See, I thought Ramel would beat him. If Ramel,
I watched Ramel's sparring videos, and I just seen the one today. I don't know, but I feel like that reach would have been a nightmare for him because Ramel's like thick set lad, but he's not tall. Do you know?
Like Joel is on the beach now and can afford to be, and still will win.
Right.
I think you've answered it for us.
Yeah.
Moving on
to Gibbo and Jay.
For me, that's going to be...
That's exciting.
That's a real good one, though.
I adore the both of them, but I think Ali will pick them apart.
I think
Ali's relentless. Ali's good.
Did you see Ali in the last fight, though? I didn't think he showed his best.
He didn't have to, did he?
No.
He was
Do you think... Poor Max, man. Max is 40% blind. He has a blind spot in his left eye.
60% after that fight.
Like the fact he even took that was stupid. But
do you think it changes that Jay is used to pain? And like he gets a bit of a kick.
He's got a good mentality. Yeah. It's an interesting one.
Jay's
more than I thought it would be.
I think Jay's going to come in though, like with a good heart on him. He's not going to go away. 100%. I think it's going to be a war, and I think it might end up just being the fittest lad is left standing.
I think Gibble. He's probably nervous for the first fight. Now he can learn from that.
I just think
I don't know.
Gibble will be on it.
I don't know. I think Gibbo should win, but like there's something about Jay where I would never write him off.
That's what's funny about him. Like after someone's dived in nettles, you can never.
It's not even the worst one, really.
No, that's the weird thing.
He just looked at me
DP bath was pretty rough. If
Yeah.
there's one YouTube channel I don't think I could ever handle being a part of, fuck me, it's that one. Like have all the views you want.
Do you want to tell him now about next week?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yes.
You'll find out later.
Yeah. It's all right. It's just a micro and some concrete. It's not going to be a problem.
I've been looking for ways to end it. It's fine.
His life, not the channel. We'll keep on going.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Cam is
We've got
don't worry about it. It's
Logan's on the way. He's got his hat on.
Just to be clear, those two are linked very heavily.
To be fair, yeah.
Deji and I almost forgot his name. Jake.
I think everything logical says that Jake should win the fight, but there's something about Deji. He's got a lot of heart. After that, I'm gonna say KSI beats Logan.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, I was if Logan can come back after that and beat JJ,
he'll have to.
No, but genuinely, I'm like not even joking here. If Logan can take a fucking verbal pounding like that and come back and beat JJ, who's JJ's training like high level guys and that, I have to be impressed with that, like because he looked gone today.
Can I add this as a hot take? Ooh. It does take a lot of strength to walk away from situations as well sometimes, and he could have thought I'll stick around and have a say here and like try and say something, and instead he went, cool, don't worry about it, and I'm off.
Because I do it sometimes. I've stormed off from many a Costa Coffee meeting with my dad.
Yeah. Listen, son, the mortgage is going the way it is. We can't fund your channel anymore.
You and Statman Dave.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can't put that in.
No, but the point is, I feel like it takes strength to also walk away, and I think that could be his angle where he says, "I little boy then."
In the third round when he leaves the ring.
Yeah, it takes strength to walk away.
I'm the bigger man here.
Yeah. Got the Rolls Royce outside, please.
Yeah.
All right.
We keep the engine running.
I don't know if this is obviously a massive L for Logan. I don't know how he would bounce back if. Unless he watches an Alan Partridge DVD.
I've written a book and
bouncing back. He has the
looking at his travel tavern.
Lynn,
massive plate for the travel.
Lynn Paul.
I don't know how.
Lynn, I've got my foot. Sorry,
his dad's like the caretaker.
I think
Mr. Partridge.
I don't know how you.
Mr. Paul, I've got my sausage in a mug.
This is
more of a train wreck.
This isn't an XO podcast. We're gonna have to upload this.
I like this.
Fuck off, man. We need a good title.
I'm joking, man. I just need some content. You
right, yeah, fair play.
Can I use clips of this though?
No. We'll see you again next time right here. Don't forget to subscribe and
look
like
after
the video.
yourselves, guys. We don't say that enough.
No, we don't, do we? No. Take care and just remember.
Look after yourself.
No, just remember. Sometimes you have to be the bigger man to walk away.
Or woman.